polar opposite night on ice than what we saw 3 nights ago at the Garden. The Rangers did not have a last-second savior this time. They go down to defeat 2-1 to the Montreal Canadiens. Inside our Delta MSG studios, John Giannone alongside Steve Valiquette. We talked about encores, and we talked about emotional carryovers, and we talked about what we should expect tonight. But there's a reason why in every sport something called trap game exists. And this, when you look at it on paper, was a classic trap game, and the Rangers might have fallen into it.
It's a mental trap, isn't it? And it affects the physical. And whatever your mind can't resolve, your body will. And it seems to me like the Rangers just didn't understand what the objective of the game was mindset-wise. You can't go back and forth with the lower placed teams in the league because they still have people that will beat you if they get free opportunity. Do you know what the hardest thing to defend against is, John? It's the rush, right? It's the rush game. And it's very difficult to defend when you don't feel like skating on a particular night. And tonight was one of those nights. This game had an odor to it from the beginning. The Rangers just didn't want to skate. They didn't want to skate. They wanted this one to be an easy one. They're at the first of a back-to-back. They've had such a successful stretch. 13-2-2. I can't say that enough tonight because it's so impressive, the quality of teams they've played, how well they've played. But by the same token, don't let it get too good to you. Keep going, guys. Keep going. This is a marathon. It's not a sprint. And unfortunately, everybody wanted this to be an easy game, and it's never easy.
Yeah, and you could see it, like you said, almost right from the start. When you consider that the Rangers had won 7 of their last 8 at home, had points in 7 straight games against a Montreal team that had lost 9 out of 11, a team that you beat in a fairly, I'll call it workmanlike, but not exactly overwhelming effort in Montreal only 10 days earlier, you kind of got the feeling that this could have ended up being one of those nights. The 2 goals that Montreal scored early in the second period, about midway through the third period, those ended up being enough to win tonight, and it seemed like there was a common theme to both of them.
Yeah, you know what? I want to go a little bit longer here. So before we go into the video, this is what the coaches would say. The coaches would come in after the second period, and they would say, here's what we're going to do. We're going to put some restrictions on you. We're not going on every opportunity to go on the rush. We're not going to allow our D to activate on everything. That would be said. What would be said is if there's a 2-on-1 or a 3-on-2 and it's clear, you guys have the willingness to go. But you're not jumping up on everything. The Rangers, if there's one aspect of their game that needs to be buttoned up before the playoffs, it's transition rush. Transition rush specifically is where you get a stop in the neutral zone or in your own zone and it goes the other way. These will kill you if you don't feel like skating that night. The shot by Trouba, because it's long side, John, that fuels Montreal to go the other way, and it's a pretty easy first goal of the game for them. That's why it hurts. It should have been or could have been a shot from the middle of the ice, short side, so you don't fuel the offense. Now, fast forward into the later part of the game where you're kind of asking yourself, is this what we want to do in the third period? Don't jump there. Stay back, defend, play the game, play the score, play the time. And instead you have high risk there, and that's why you get a bad bounce here. And the Rangers now have allowed, John, 140 transition rush, just like those we just saw, against. Do you know where that puts them in the league? 3rd worst, okay? This team is good. They're good everywhere. That's the only place they're bad. And that's what they have to fix before the playoffs begin. They just have to know that. And this is, honestly, I feel like it's an epidemic around the league. Nobody plays the score anymore.
Right.
That's why we've had so many comebacks. Everybody just goes, and it's not like that in the playoffs. You've got to know that activate button that the D love to press and go, that is shut down. It's got to be shut down.
Rangers only had 1 goal tonight, so there's only 1 goal to look at and break down, and we will go inside the film room powered by CDW and HP, and we'll figure out how Artemi Panarin scored.
Well, it's something that you can take from a game that you didn't like, and it's a 6-on-5 goal. The Rangers now have 4 6-on-5 goals in the season, and what I would take from this is the level of switching up top. So you get an extra man on the ice, your goalie's out of the net on a delayed penalty, but everybody's moving around. There's a lot of emotion and a lot of motion up top, and that's what you need. You want to attack. You don't want to go into the teeth of the defense here, but you really want to confuse them so you can get one good look. All you want is one good look before they touch the puck and potentially have a penalty, but you get it right here because you broke them down east to west, And that's why Heedle's able to take his shot, and Panarin comes out of the corner the way that he wants to recover and then see open ice. There's lots of net front coverage up front here. Panarin sees the area. He's got a lane, uses the Montreal forward as a bit of a screen, and then shoots through him. And I think that the Rangers have to understand that they're actually in a good standing here too, John. 6 on 5, they've got 4, as I said. That ties them with 5 other teams in the NHL with 4. You know, teams aren't scoring every night 6 on 5, but you learn something there.
Right. Artemi Panarin now 199 goals in his NHL career.